Evolve together with Empower People. Introducing Empower People, the nonprofit that is here to educate and connect leaders to empower the people, organizations, and communities they serve. Picture this, a world where everyone is connected, communities thrive, and individuals have the knowledge and skills to create positive change and live out their purpose. That's what Empower People is all about. We offer a wide range of courses, learning and growth development programs, and our signature Empower Hour event. Our services are centered on education and connection to support purpose-driven leaders. Ready to take the next step? Visit our website at www.empowerpeople.org. That's mpwrpeople.org. And join the Empower People community as an individual, nonprofit, or for-profit organization. You can also find us on our On the Mic with Mike program, Evolve Together with Empower People, where I, Tiffany Joy Greene, MBA founder, executive director, and ex officio of Empower People, and guests will share insight on driving purpose-driven businesses, nonprofit, and for-profit. You can also find us on LinkedIn and Facebook. So what are you waiting for? Join Empower People today and unlock your true purpose. Evolve together.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tiffany Greene, the Princess of Purpose. On the mic is Mike, Tiffany Greene here. We can start with the shenanigans.
Never.
We never stop because she is the Princess of Purpose. This is a purpose-driven organization. That's what we are here. What we do is we use the power of media. Welcome back to the program, ma'am.
Thank you, Mike. And every time you play that, you know what I want to do at the end? Jazz hands.
Yes, you are creative.
A little bit.
And yes, I would have never known. I would have never known that you are creative. But you are the Princess of Purpose. And let's talk about why purpose. Tell folks who you are and what you do first.
So I'm Tiffany Joy Greene, and I am the founder of Empower People. And Empower People is an organization that provides education, connection, and support to mission and purpose-driven leaders to drive positive impact and empower people. And again, you heard it in the intro, but you can find us on empowerpeople.org. That's mpwrpeople.org. And you can find us on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Hashtag Empower People.
Alrighty, so just recently, last week, so once a month on the first Wednesday, every month, we play your squad, your superhero squad, and you put folks together, and it gives people the ability to contact the subject matter experts about burning business topics.
And there's always so many.
There's always so. So who is your lineup? Let's go down through who you're. And this is an hour so that people get time to answer questions, ask questions, and you brought together your squad. That's right.
It's a great opportunity because an hour. The hour goes by fast, but it's just enough time to get real information, extrapolate upon their answers. So it's not just like a quick answer and now we got to move on. Like they really can dive deep. But everybody we have, first of all, I want to say everybody on that panel now is certified. And what I mean by certified is they are Empower People certified small business and nonprofit advisors. And what does that mean? How did they get certified through Empower People? Is they went through extensive education, peer group coaching, and peer group advising over many, many months. And then they had to take an oral exam over 2 hours long. And they
Really?
We don't mess around.
You do not mess around. So that is the counselor, John Rabel.
That's John Rabel, and he owns Entrepreneur Legal Advisors, or ELA for short. And he's a small business attorney.
Yes, and he does it different.
He does it different.
Yes.
And as an advisor, just to be clear, this is a legal disclaimer. He'd be pleased to hear me say this. Obviously, as an advisor, he can't serve as your attorney. But what he can do as an advisor is he can serve as your risk management consultant or advisor. Okay? Because there's a different relationship when you're serving as somebody's attorney.
He would be very happy that you made that disclaimer.
Yes.
Shout out to John Rabel.
And then we have Brian Kinsey. And he is our HR expert, and he owns Tinker HR, and his primary target market is small businesses and nonprofits. And then we have Stacy Briley Goodman, who I know you know because she has a show with you too, right? And she's the owner of Origamic Solutions, and she is the operations guru.
She is an operations guru. She just was here, and we were talking about the life cycle of your business, the maturity level, and also being able to, and we had this conversation before, being able to go away from your business and it continues to run.
And she was able to do that.
Yes.
Woo!
takes some time away from your business and it continues to run, but she helps you operate, not work in your business, but work
on your business.
Which a lot of people don't know because
No,
we're putting out fires.
Yeah, and
But some of the fires are something, I had a match, there's some gas.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because let me first round out who else is up. So I'm on the advisory council too.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, so I'm an advisor. What do I advise on, Mike?
Purpose.
Which is
shocking.
Which is strategy.
It is strategy.
It is strategy. It's the foundation of strategy. So this morning, actually, my Power People superhero advisors, we talked about what is the difference between strategic thinking and reactive thinking.
Okay, that's it. Hold up, man. Let's get that. What is it?
Well, let's use an analogy because I think that sometimes the best way to explain something is through analogy. So somebody comes into the hospital, the ER, having a heart attack, right? What is the reaction? Well, we got to save the patient, right? We're going to do whatever we have to do. Give them an aspirin. I'm not a healthcare provider, so I'm not going to give that plan or course of action. But they're going to go through immediately. They're going to react to save the patient. Does that stop there?
No.
No. Then comes the strategy, right? Because what happens once they save you? We don't want you to have another heart attack. We got to find the root cause to this heart attack. And it's not just the doing the lab work and doing the tests. It's what's your lifestyle, what's your exercise regimen, and what's that. But here's the other kicker, right? This sounds very, scientific. This is what doctors do. But what happens if the patient says, my quality of life and eating burgers is more important to me than having an extended life?
And smoking cigarettes.
Yeah. Maybe it's more important. They'd rather have a shorter life and do whatever the heck they want to do.
Do you know? Yeah, I know you're from Canada, ma'am. Do you know who Mickey Mantle is? Yes. No.
Yes.
Mickey Mantle had said, if I'd known I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of myself. You know what? Yeah. And like you're saying, so you say to the doctor, he says, you need to do this for a better life, to live longer.
And some people will say, I don't care about longevity. I would rather do all the things I want to do and have a shorter lifespan. So what's the strategy then? Right? The strategies are different. What is their purpose? Right? You look at, some people are risk averse. Some people like adventure. Some people want to jump out of a plane. Somebody's like, the only way I'm jumping out of a plane is the plane's crashing. Don't make me, that doesn't sound like fun, right?
No.
Right? But that's, what is it that they want to get out of life? That's the difference between strategy, because you're thinking long term, the long game. Reactive thinking is, I just cut my finger, it's bleeding, I got to stop the bleed.
You're not thinking.
But here's the kicker in business, right? Here's the kicker in business. Or even with cutting the finger. It's bleeding. The reaction could be, I got to stop the bleed. But whatever you do, that, by whatever stopping the bleeding is, what happens if you basically kill the finger? Not anything you do to save the finger is actually going to save the finger. But that reaction needs to be tied back to the strategy, which is save the finger. Long term, I got to stop the bleed. Short term, I got to stop the bleed. But I want to keep my finger indefinitely. I want to. When I'm mad at my spouse, I want to be.
You don't want to be doing that with a nub. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that wasn't right, Mike. But the thing is, it's always, what is the overall mission? You're gonna like this because you were in the military, right? When you're in the military and you're in combat, do things change sometimes and they have to course correct and react?
All the time.
But when they do react, what do? They tie up that reaction back, and it's quick thinking. How does this reaction support the overall mission?
Right, there will be an after-action report that will say, how did this impact the next step?
The mission.
The mission.
The big mission. Not just the next step, but we are going in, we're going into Afghanistan for this reason. When we reacted to this, did that support the mission, or did that take us further away from the mission?
That's true. And you have to course correct on the fly sometimes.
Yes, but you have to, you know what the key is as long as you got your eye on the ball, meaning the long-term vision, the strategy, and the purpose, your reaction will be most appropriate.
When organizations lose their focus, how can they best reclaim it?
You can do that at any time. So if you've been caught in the weeds, like I say, and you've been continually reacting, And usually when you continually react, you're kind of digging yourself deeper in the hole. And you're like, oh my gosh, how do I get out of this hole? It always goes back to, okay, what is my purpose? And in a practical terminology, what is your strategic plan? Revisit your strategic plan. If you have one, is it still true to this day? If you don't have one, get busy and create one. Because what happens is when you're in reactive mode and you're stuck there, you're constantly in crisis. The only way to get out of crisis is to take the time to strategically plan. Like in a personal level, all of us at some point have been in some form of crisis here.
Yes.
Right? And when you're in crisis and you just continually react and you're making decisions, haven't you ever noticed that those are usually not your best decisions?
No, they're not.
So what do you have to do? You have to say, I got to take a breather because, man, this whole situation is just getting worse. I got to take a breather and I got to self-reflect. I got to think about what I really want because I'm not liking what I got right now, so I got to think about what I really want, right? That's how you get yourself personally out of a hole. It's the same thing with a business. So you got to go back to the foundation, which is your purpose and your strategic plan to get yourself out of the hole. Don't think it's fluff, because that is, if you were to make the analogy with the military, that's your mission.
That's the ultimate goal.
That's the ultimate goal.
Tiffany Greene here, the Princess of Purpose, talking on the mic with Mike. Ma'am, so when we're looking at it that way, you were putting a lot of gobbledygook, kumbaya stuff out there. And I'm right down that road with you. There is a bottom line effect to all this that we didn't always know. It's like, Tiffany, they're just talking about that feel-good stuff. There is a value in this feel-good stuff.
Every point of research that has been done on purpose, there's the affects profit and affects your revenue, because number one, your customers or your clients want to know what your purpose is. Yes, to best serve them, but what is your bigger objective in this world that we live in? What are you really trying to do, right? Look at like the bigger companies that do really well and have been around a really long time, and look at what their purpose is. It's not, I'm here to make widgets, right? It's the widget is a means to an end. So what is the impact? What is the positive legacy impact that I want to make on this world, right? And so I think when we think about it as gobbledygook, think about what that means. If people are buying your purpose, they're not just buying your product, right? If you say, Tiffany, I'm selling you airtime, then I'm buying airtime. What would stop me from buying airtime from somebody else?
That's true.
Your
purpose.
Correct.
Okay, here's one. So, I saw a thing the other day that it says, so Mike King, Tiffany Greene here, she is the Princess of Purpose, that Chick-fil-A can do the same amount of business in 6 days that the others do in 7 days. Because, one, you feel good. Wegmans is another one. I'm in Wegmans knowing I'm spending more money than I would be, and we're all just happy in there. Whether it is their purpose, they make us feel a certain kind of way, and we're willing to pay for that.
That's true. So if you look at Wegmans is from, on the state side, my home state, which is New York, right? And Wegmans knows customer service better than nobody else.
Yes.
Out in the grocery store business. But I'm gonna challenge you to think about who does purpose better, because here's the thing: you're talking about revenue and the amount of business. I said profitability. Those are not the same thing.
Correct.
Right? So think about Wegmans, think about Whole Foods. Whole Foods may not have the same volume, but perhaps they're more profitable. And I don't know that, but I'm going to research that now. But because who has a stronger purpose? It's not Wegmans.
But Wegmans make me feel good.
Well, you can go to a lot of brands that'll make you feel good.
Not as good as Wegmans.
No, but if we look at Richmond, who felt a true sense of purpose when grocery shopping at U-Crops?
I wasn't here, but I just said.
But you've heard about it.
The legend lives.
The legend lives. That's Now, who's talking about, what was the one? What's the one that closed? Martin's.
Nobody.
Nope, I'm not hearing anybody talk about Martin's.
No.
Right? What was their purpose?
You don't know.
You don't know.
The purpose was, the product was to sell you stuff in the grocery store. When you look at some of the other ones, when you look at like a U-Crops, the legacy lives on. Years later, people are still referencing them. It's like, boy, remember when we used to...
Because they were about the community. That was their purpose, right? And doing right by the community. And that's why even their desserts today still fall on people's dinner tables.
That U-Crops food market is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. And their chocolate pie, by the way, if you haven't heard it.
Yeah, there you go. Tiffany Greene. Alrighty, so, ma'am, how can people find information out there about you?
Pretty much in all kinds of places. Like
Tiffany Greene with an E?
With an E, not the color. Not the color.
I forgot that part.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so, Purpose is Tiffany Greene is, she's pulling talent in from around the globe.
That's correct.
So this is a really big thing. So let's give a little tease about what's upcoming with Tiffany Greene.
So on the 23rd, we're going to be recording the show at noon.
Yes.
And everybody has an opportunity to register to attend the event, to listen live, to listen to an interview with none other, Dan Tier. Dan Tier, he was the HubSpot executive. He was one of the original 6.
Whoa.
He wrote a book on inbound marketing. And he travels the world talking about all of his experience and everything he has learned over the years. He just retired from HubSpot. He's an author. He's a public speaker. Goes around the world talking. He's an investor. He's a mentor. This guy. And if you follow him at all, he coins the phrase, "Oh, baby," because he's just high energy. So if you want to be motivated and inspired, this is a show you got to attend. Dan is amazing. And he also does, I'm going to do it, I don't care. Roar! Because the training I met him in was during COVID 2020. And that's how he gets, like, the lions roar. And he literally does it. And he has the lion hat. It's so cool. He's a great motivator.
So, in other words, Tiffany Greene is inspired by somebody who has a lot of energy.
I know. Shocking.
Shocking. I can't believe.
And you know what his tagline is?
What's that?
Doing the most good for the universe.
That's why you're the princess of purpose. One of my Tiffany Greene. One last time, ma'am, how can people find you out there?
Empowerpeople.org. That's MPWRpeople.org. You can find us on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And don't forget, hashtag Empower People.
That's right. And that's the cool kind of, not the old people kind of way you spell empower. This is...
It's MPWR. And please, if you are telling somebody about Empower People, don't go MPWR. We're not a radio station. It is Empower People.
It is Empower People. No, she does have a radio voice. She has a radio background. One of my Tiffany has to go. She has to go out there like a Johnny App. You're like superhero. We're
my superhero pose.
Yes.
Seriously, it makes you feel good.
Yeah, but I just pulled a muscle.
Damn.
On the Mike, we gotta go. We're gonna get Tiffany Greene a cape. That's right. She's gonna walk around with. Oh, do you know Shana Kabaznik?
No, I do not.
She used to have one of them fab women. They used to run around with capes on.
Oh, I didn't know that. That sounds cool.
That is cool.
That's cool.
But it's different when you see a bunch of women running around. Can you imagine a bunch of men walking around with one of my? We gotta go.